Hey YouTube, and thank you for watching Junkworks Garage. These videos are going to be videos that I am revamping from some of my older videos. A couple reasons for that. YouTube is not paying all that great right now, and I've been told I talk way too much and I get a lot of blah 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 comments. So therefore I'm kind of trying to cut some of this stuff out. So if you need any more information on what you're about to see and you feel like something got missed, please go find the longer version of these videos. Thanks for watching. Now, when you turn it on, it makes a horrible noise. Under a closer inspection of my brushes here, I have found that the ones in here actually look more like the ones that go to the Harbor Freight ones, or at least they're closer than the ones that I have here. So these must go to something else. And I'll tell you right now, make sure you check that, because I went to put one of these in there and tighten it down and kind of cracked the little plastic piece here. But these don't look all that bad. So I'm thinking that this probably isn't going to fix the problem that I'm having anyway, as of right now. But at the very least, you'll know more about where brushes are on machines like this and how to change them. We're going to throw these back down in here. And there's one on both sides here. Get that down in there. We're plugged in, and let's see if it makes horrible noises. Whoa! That was the problem. I don't know why these brushes don't look horrible, but it seems to be working. It did say to run the machine for 15 minutes. It ran good for about 2 minutes, and then it started making a horrible, awful noise, and this is what came out. It actually broke the end right off of one of these, and so it's got deeper issues. Start tearing this thing apart and see if we can either fix it, and if it's torn apart and I can't see a problem somewhere that's blatantly obvious, then I'll leave it torn apart and I will recycle it. This bearing might be shot, and it is. There you go. So that's probably part of the reason right there. I believe that bearing, yep, this bearing right here should be turning, and I can't with all my might. Oh, there, I got it to kind of turn one way. Yep. There you go. There's your problem. That bearing right there is shot. So I might be able to find a bearing. Anyway, I got that on there, and I'm slowly but surely getting this bearing off of here. Yep, that's as far as that's going to bottom out. Most of the way. I've got a little ways to go. I'm going to get that off, and then I actually went through some of my scrap stuff, and here's a couple bearings out of a different motor. I don't know exactly what it was for. Got the old one off, I knocked the other one off of the other tube, and I just stuck it on there and just tapped it on. So it's on there. I don't have it all put together because I don't want to waste my time with it anymore if this doesn't work. So let's see if it makes any nasty noises here. Okay, it seems to be doing well, but I thought it was doing well last time. I took the best of the brushes that I had, put them in there, and we'll see if this works. Well, it's been probably a good 10 minutes, and it's still running, making kind of a funny noise, but I'm going to go ahead and unplug it. And I'm going to replace the plug. And in the process of looking at that, there's a lot of wires that go into places where I don't want to go up back in here and start soldering things. So my plan is actually probably not the best plan, but it's definitely the easiest. And I suppose if you wanted to, you could just splice this back in since I'm splicing it, or you could even, if you want to go up in there and solder and do a bunch of stuff, you know, reuse this. There's enough of it here. But since I'm just splicing it in, this is actually off an old drill, and it's a little bit thicker. So since I'm splicing it, maybe, I don't know if it will, but maybe that'll help with the not losing quite as much through there. And also it's a little bit longer, so I'll have a longer cord. First of all, don't forget to throw this back on there, otherwise you'll get it all put together and you won't have a back piece here. And I'm going to I cut it off here and kind of stripped a little bit of it, but I need to strip down the two separate wires. So I'm just going to take a razor blade, good sharp razor blade, be careful, and go in here, and hopefully I will be able to strip some of this back. I'll do it again here. Pull some of these out, there we go. And then I got my two separate wires. Something my dad showed me a long time ago. If you don't want to, when you splice things together, you end up with a pretty thick bundle of stuff here. And if you don't want it to be quite so thick, you want to offset these wires. So I cut this black one back here, but I'm going to cut the white one on this side up here. So when they butt together, I'll go ahead and do that right around in there. When they butt together, you'll have a wide spot here and a wide spot up here, like right where both my fingers are coming together at. But together, when you put it together, there won't be a big, giant, thick bundle of wire right here with the splices. You'll see it better when I do it, but I just wanted to show you kind of how I cut that. I put the wires together, I left this one long, cut the black one down here, left the white one long, and cut the white one here down shorter, so that they're cut in two different places. And I'll show you why when I come back. Alright, so I put the butt connectors on these wires here, the plug-in part. Then I'm going to go ahead and connect these ones. This one's a little bit long here. I'm actually going to cut that down a little bit. They don't need to be super long, otherwise they just kind of tangle up inside there. Hopefully you guys can kind of see this. I'm going to take down in there and clamp it down. And always test. Give it a little bit of a yank. Don't, you know, reef on it, but give it a little bit of yank. If it comes loose, you got to redo it, because I don't know how many times I've messed with stuff after other people have messed with it, and it's just like barely in there, or one wire hanging out, or holding it basically, not hanging out. Give it a little bit of a twist. The wires together. Some people say not to do that, but I always do, just so it doesn't fray. And then another thing, you know, there is actually specific ways to crimp these. With these kind, you can't hardly tell what it is. But if you put the deep part here, do it on the same side, do them both exactly the same. That way you're not kind of bending the metal two different directions and causing it to wear in a spot. It didn't feel right. And make sure it goes down in there and everything stays right where you want it. Electrical is not a place to be in a hurry. For some reason, there we go. Take it and give it a little bit of yank. See? That's not coming apart. That should stay there. Now here is the reason why I cut it in two different spots. Right there. See, when I tape that up, there'll be a little bit of a bulge here and a little bit of a bulge here. But if I was to tape these up together, look how big that is. When you go to tape your stuff up, you can almost hardly tell. As you can see, it's all put back together. You can't even tell that I spliced it or anything like that, and it all fit up underneath here. You can kind of feel it under here, so I'll have to kind of pay attention to that, make sure I don't crack it or bang it too much. But I'm going to go ahead and plug it in for you so you guys can see it, hear it, and watch it work. Show you it, do a little bit of grinding on my table and clean up my table. So there you go. It's not the most powerful thing in the world, but it works pretty well. Now I have a cutting wheel, a grinding wheel, and a flap disc now, so I don't have to change out my blades all the time with one, and I got a grand total of about $25 in Dollar Tree. So it just shows you can get cheaper tools, and if you take care of them, do a little maintenance, fix them a few times, you know, you can keep them running. They're made to keep running. Pretty much the only thing in electric motors that really wear out usually is the brushes. Just so happened that bearing wore out in this one, and I was able to replace it. Seems to be working fine. Well, get out there and get your junk working. Thanks for watching Junk Works Garage, where I'm proud to say I'm a jack of all and master of none. You all have a good one.